Hi there, my name is Nina Goradia. I want to talk about a topic that is really abundant online, and I'm sure this is not the first time you've come across it, but why an empath would be attracted to a narcissist. But what I want to do is share this from a somatic perspective, which could be a unique take on this in empowering a person to be able to walk away. So usually empaths are people that may have had a lot of trauma in their childhood. And because of this, they learned how to attune to the external world because it was protective for them. As they get really good at attuning to the moods of the people around them, they can avoid getting hurt. They can avoid further abuse sometimes in certain situations, or at least this is their coping mechanism and survival strategy. But the cost that arises from this is that they are not then attuning to themselves as much. Now, I know many empaths talk about being unable to tell whether a certain emotion is their own or another's. So while empaths are very aware of their emotional experience, sometimes it can be confusing of whose is whose experience is whose, and the meeting the needs of oneself can oftentimes be sacrificed to meet the needs of another person. So this ignoring of one's own needs in order to survive their life, their childhood, um, then can pair up quite nicely with a person who may have narcissistic qualities, who has also, not had their needs met, but their compensation has been to try to get those needs met from another while not knowing how to meet their own, or maybe refusing to meet their own. And then this empath has been taught to pair with this sort of person because they're ready and willing to meet the needs of this other person. And so, what I encourage empaths to do is start to notice this pattern of possible self denial, self neglect, and to start turning the attention towards their own feelings in a very practical way. So, a practical way of self love is to attend to our own feelings and take care of them so that we are not having this pull towards the toxic person. Because when you start taking care of your feelings, you're not going to feel the need to have to attend externally with your attention, to look on the outside to make sure you're safe on the inside. Many people had to do that as children, but as adults, you can keep yourself safe. We're not powerless the way that we were as children anymore. And so, as adults, you can walk away. And when we start to attend to these feelings and take care of these hurt feelings from childhood, we realize our survival is not dependent on meeting the needs of an external person. And so by doing this, we start to disprove that belief that my needs are, only going to get met through the appeasement of someone outside of me, which might have been what childhood was like. And we start to recognize our own ability to care for our own needs. And then as they're cared for, these emotions start to feel more at peace within oneself. We start to discern what's mine, what's another person's. And it's really the shifting of attention, because as empaths, I can guarantee you are very skilled at emotional attunement with others, and hopefully, building that skill within oneself, giving yourself the gifts that you have, letting yourself benefit from these gifts that you have to share, can start to heal up a lot of the self-denial and the not getting needs met when you were young. And as that heals, you're going to be far less attracted to people who feel familiar when you were younger. And it's not going to feel like love anymore. Love is going to feel like the person who wants to know how you're feeling, who can attune to you and you can attune to them, but you also both attune to yourselves, which is your primary responsibility for self-care. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about this. I just wanted to share this very practical way, because we know intellectually, yeah, I should take care of myself. But what does it look like, and how do we free ourselves energetically from a toxic situation? So I think that the energetic freedom comes from taking care of our emotions inside of us, which are energetic. They're energy. As we take care of them, we reduce the polarity, we reduce the attraction in a situation like this. and we just feel much more contentment internally. And whenever we feel more contentment internally, we need very little, if nothing, from the outside. So I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I will see you in the next video.